Welcome back, Journey Unfolded family. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. Today we're talking about something every believer experiences: the storm. The storm. There are moments in life when we step out in faith, believing God has called us. Yet, instead of calm waters, we find ourselves surrounded with strong wind and high waves. If you've ever wondered why following God sometimes feels difficult, this message is for you. Now let's unfold Peter's journey. Today we're talking about when your focus determines your faith. When your focus determines your faith. The disciples were in a boat crossing the Sea of Galilee when a storm arose. In the middle of the night, they saw Jesus walking on the water. Peter wanted to be sure it was really Jesus, so he said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." You can find this in Matthew 14:28. Jesus answered, "Come." Peter stepped out of the boat and did something no ordinary person could do. He walked on water. Peter didn't begin to sink because Jesus failed him. He didn't sink because the storm suddenly became stronger. He began to sink because his focus shifted. When you read Matthew 14:30, it says, "But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, 'Lord, save me.'" So the wind had been there all along. The waves had been there all along. What changed was Peter's attention. The moment he focused more on the storm than on Jesus, fear replaced faith. Even while Peter was sinking, Jesus did not abandon him. When you read Matthew 14:31, it says, "Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You of little faith,' he said, 'why did you doubt?'" Did you notice the word immediately? Jesus didn't hesitate. He reached out and said, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" Jesus didn't say Peter had no faith. He said Peter had little faith. Little faith, when placed in Jesus, is still enough for him to reach us. Life will always have storms. There'll be moments fear tries to overwhelm us. We may face disappointment, uncertainty, delays, financial struggles, health challenges, or unanswered prayers. The question isn't whether the storms will come. The question is, where is your focus? Where is your focus? When we fix our eyes on our circumstances, fear grows. When we fix our eyes on Jesus, faith grows. Faith doesn't ignore our circumstances. Faith chooses to trust that Jesus is greater than reality. Peter's story isn't really about sinking. It's about having the courage to step out when Jesus says come. It's about remembering that even when our faith feels weak, Jesus is still faithful. So today, whatever storm you're facing, don't let it become bigger than your Savior. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He's still calling, He's still holding, and He's still able to carry you through every storm. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Journey Unfolded. If this message blessed and encouraged you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs this today. Remember, your journey may have storms, but as long as your eyes remain on Jesus, you are never walking alone. Thank you for being part of this journey. I'll see you another time. Bye.